6:45 right here on, of course, the Now Morning Show, and I almost said Sweet 100, but of course, we're having a good time here, and of course, different perspectives. And just a couple of days ago, we had a chance to witness a wonderful lighting display in Port of Spain, and of course, that is the Powergen Port of Spain decommissioning project, which is taking place right now. And we have on the line the General Manager of Powergen, Mr. Surindranath Ramsingh, to chat about the commissioning project. Mr. Ramsingh, good morning and welcome to the Now Morning Show.
Good morning, Mr. Anthony, and thank you for having me.
Well, before we get into the decommissioning project that is taking place right now, how are you and how is the company managing through this pandemic that the entire world is being faced with right now?
So, thank you, Mark. I am fine. The company is in a pretty good state, I must say. As you know, we were all caught with this pandemic worldwide. Fortunately, we had implemented business continuity plans, which were kicked in almost immediately. And we did a number of activities, including telecommuting, working from home, which is what I'm doing right now. A number of persons work from home. We have rotations to reduce the number of persons on site at any time. So a number of activities, and fortunately, we have been able to survive this far. And we are, I must say, the vaccination drive in our company has been relatively good. I have a 70% vaccination population, so I would consider myself almost at herd immunity. But we continue to encourage persons to become vaccinated, which is the best way to protect yourself and your family against this virus.
Definitely. Now, the decommissioning project taking place in Port of Spain right now, how long is it expected to last?
From the beginning to end, when we start the project, is expected to last about 2 years. Of course, that varies depending on the activities and the other issues surrounding the pandemic and delays in getting contracts on site and all of that. But it's about 2 years, I would say, on the outer limits.
Now, some may think that because all of this activity is taking place right now, will this negatively affect the national grid in any way?
I would say no, because there is adequate generation to meet the low demand. Following the closure of the Port of Spain site, as you know, we have 2 other power stations, one at Point Lisas and at Penal. So we did ramp up the Penal site, we upgraded those units. We also upgraded some of the units at Point Lisas, and we are still in process of upgrading as we speak. So we expect to get more reliable supply as well as an increase in the capacity. So no, I don't expect this to affect the community in any way.
Now, you mentioned this may take about 2 years, give or take.
Yeah.
What happens post-demolition? How much control does Powergen have over the site itself?
Right, so Powergen as a company doesn't have much plans for the site post-demolition. However, we've been informed by UDICOT, and we've had a couple of meetings as well, that the site is carded for part of the revitalization of the city of Port of Spain. And we've had a couple of meetings with them. In fact, at my last public consultation, I gave UDICOT a spot at the end to display what the plans are. And it appears as though it's multi-complex, commercial residential complex, so that there are some plans for the site post-demolition.
I know that some of the residents in the area might be a little bit concerned. Do they have to be concerned at all in terms of maybe noise, dust, whatsoever might be emanating from the site itself?
So Mark, we've had many public consultations with the residents, and a lot of questions came up, and they were all answered. Remember, this project is under the guidance of the EMA through a CEC, and it took a lot of development stages, including all the impact assessments that has to be done to determine what is the noise level and controls towards the noise level. So I would say, notwithstanding the minor noise that you will get in any construction type activity or dust, I would say no. We do have precautions that we put in place to manage the dust as well as noise. The project will go for about 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and therefore residents will be able to rest comfortably at night. So I would say notwithstanding that level of activity, there will be very little impact on the residents. We will have put in place traffic plans so that we know that the city is very heavily populated in terms of vehicles. So we're moving objects and parts at a low density time in the night.
Now, Mr. Ramsingh, I thought it was an independence display the other day when I was taking a drive along the Wrightson Road. The Silver Sentinel display, I think it was named. What type of thought and who came up with the idea to do this wonderful display of lighting?
So it came up as one of my corporate communications person, Francois, brought it to my attention, and I thought it was a fantastic idea. It was really to mark a change in time, because these sentinels were there from 50, 60 years back. Residents know it as a landmark. They use it as a navigational point. And it is about, with all the sentiments that goes with that, we felt it necessary to mark that time when they will no longer be there with a display, so that the memories of those sentinels will forever last in the residents and the nationals as well. For Southerners who come to the city, you look for the stacks just on the outskirts of the city. So it's something that it will have a lot of sentimental value, and we felt it was only fitting to do so in such a manner.
And as you mentioned, in terms of the sentimental aspect of it, just my final question to you, sir. For those who might have been calling in terms of preservation of the site itself, are there any concerns that they should have in terms of this, maybe going forward, maybe pictures depicting what was there before for those who are coming behind?
So yes, we have taken lots of video footage, lots of still pictures. We have specimens of some of the significant parts of the plant that we intend to keep, and it is my hope that these components will end up in some museum for electricity generation in the near future. The process is still ongoing. We are taking shots and video footage of the disassembly of the stacks as well. So not only will you see what was there, you will see how it came down, and hopefully that will go into some archive in the near future.
Mr. Ramsingh, thank you very much for chatting with us on the Now Morning Show. I do hope that you will continue to keep yourself and others safe through this pandemic, and we do wish you a wonderful day. Thank you very much for chatting with us on the Now Morning Show.
Thank you, and thanks for having me.
Thank you very much. We're going to take a break. Of course, come back with so much more right here on the Now Morning Show. Stay with us.